How you doing today?
Good.
Good. So we're going to continue on with the resurrection eggs. Okay. So last week we did number 7 and 8. Do you remember what we did?
What was the chain?
The cross, right? And what did the cross represent? What did the cross represent? Do you remember?
When Jesus died on the cross.
That's right. And how that was really sad, but that wasn't the end of the story, right?
And this was for the person's forgiveness.
Well, it was the man who was next to him that realized his need for forgiveness, right? And that's how kind of we all have a need for forgiveness, because it's not what we do that gets us into heaven, but what? Do you remember?
Our faith in Jesus.
Our faith in God, and Jesus gets us into heaven, right? So now while we're doing the next two, 9 and 10, you get to make the craft, right? And what is it, do you know?
It's when Jesus died in the tomb.
When he was placed in the tomb. So it's an edible craft today, right?
Yep.
So what you do is you do the icing and stuff, and then you attach it, and then you can eat it later, after dinner, right?
Yeah. I wish I could eat it.
I know, don't
No,
like
no,
it.
no, no.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to show the people at home what our next egg is.
Oh.
So number 9 is a nail. Okay.
Okay.
And while we're doing that, the passage is Luke chapter 23, verses 44 through 53. But I'm going to read it out of the Spark Bible, because it kind of is a little easier for little kids to understand. So after a while, the world grew very dark, as if a terrible thunderstorm was coming. It was as if all of creation was crying because Jesus was about to die. Jesus was feeling all alone and prayed to see if God was still there. Of course, God never left Jesus. God was with him the whole time. Jesus looked at the crowd. He was so sad that people didn't believe that he was God's son. He asked God to forgive them for killing him. The soldiers offered him some sour wine, but he didn't want to drink it. He was ready to die. Finally, Jesus had fought for long enough. He said, "God, the work you gave me to do here is finished." He breathed a final, long, slow breath, and then he died. Okay.
Okay.
So, when Jesus cried out and he said, in the Bible verse it says, "Father, I give you my life," that's when he took his last breath. And this may seem to be a sad event, but it's also a joyful one. You know why?
Because he rose again.
Well, yep. But Jesus died in place of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we've all done many, many bad things that we've sinned against God. But only Jesus, who had no sin, could die in our place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can we say a little prayer thanking Jesus for dying in our place?
Mm-hmm.
So can you give me one? Dear God.
Dear God. I don't know.
Dear God, thank you for sending your son Jesus to take away our sin. How's that?
Good.
Okay. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. So now we're going to go on to number 10. Well, do you know what? You have to put a little more frosting behind that to get it to stick. That's why the peanut butter kind of works better for that, because peanut butter is stickier.
Maybe I just need.
So now we're going to look at number 10. And number 10 is what?
A rock.
A rock. Right. So now I'm going to read out of the regular Bible, and it's Matthew chapter 27, verses 59 through 61. Okay. So Joseph took the body and wrapped it in a clean linen cloth and laid it in his own new tomb, which he had hewn in the rock. He then rolled a great stone to the door of the tomb and went away. Mary Magdalene and the other Mary were there, sitting opposite the tomb. So that's what our little project represents, right? So, and according to the resurrection eggs, we should be hiding under a blanket right now. But we're going to do that for the last 2 eggs. And then we'll talk about that a little more. Okay? So can you say bye to the folks at home?
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.